And more continuing coverage of Super Bowl 59 live from Radio Row here at the New Orleans Convention Hall with Front Office Sports and Baker Machado. And we are joined with an international legend and an NFL legend with us right now, Osi Umenyiora. Osi, good to have you here. Thanks so much for joining us, sir. So before we talk about NFL UK, NFL Africa, all the things that you're very clearly busy about, let's just talk about Sunday.
Okay.
Expectations for the game? Anybody you're rooting for?
Rooting for Kansas City.
You guys can say as a Giants guy, you ain't rooting for the Eagles.
100%. Not only that, Steve Spagnuolo, who was our defensive coordinator the first year we won the Super Bowl, dear friend of mine, so I'm really rooting for him. And Philadelphia Eagles. How can you root for the Philadelphia Eagles as a Giant fan?
Obviously, international coverage of the NFL, a very big thing for Roger Goodell in the league. You are a part of that, especially your coverage with the BBC for NFL UK as well. How would you sort of rate the NFL's international efforts so far? And do you think the league is pretty popular so far after all these years in the UK?
Without a shadow of a doubt. We played in the first game there, which was in 2007. It was a good game, good environment, but having been there for the last 10 years now since I retired and seeing the growth of their game, seeing the trajectory that it's on right now, absolutely fantastic, incredible. The things that they're doing, they keep on adding more games. They just announced they're going to Ireland, which is right next to
and Melbourne.
over there, and Melbourne. So the growth has been amazing. The NFL has done a fantastic job, and I couldn't have been prouder of the work that they've been doing.
Are there specific teams you think that are like really hitting, across the pond? Maybe the Cowboys, the Steelers, the iconic brands, kind of like how here in the United States, everybody here likes the Manchester Uniteds and the Manchester Cities.
Yeah. Well, I think oddly enough, you have really two teams that keep on coming up, and that's the Miami Dolphins and the Chicago Bears. And I think because a lot of the times in the late 80s, early 90s, there was a big push by the NFL to enter into these markets, and the popular teams, you had the 85 Chicago Bears, Miami Dolphins with Dan Marino and all of them. So that's why they're so popular. So those are the two biggest teams, I would say, in the United Kingdom, right?
There's always speculation the NFL might expand and have a team in London, in Brazil, somewhere else. Do you think that is inevitable, that we'll likely see international expansion and maybe one of these teams is playing full-time in London?
I believe it's going to happen. I think if you look at the efforts that have been that have been put in by the NFL into going to all these different markets, they're not doing that just to, it's a business, and they're not doing that just for the love of bringing the game internationally. So I think at some point, the market out there is incredible. There's so many different people, so many people outside of the United States who love the game that you're going to have to give them a franchise. It's just a matter of when.
You have millions of accolades and awards that you've had, and one most recently seems to be really special. You were just the first ever person inducted into the NFL International Ring of Honor alongside Jared Allen. Talk a little bit about that, like how special of a moment that was, because this is something brand new here.
Yeah, it really was crazy. I think being born in London, living in Nigeria, moving to America when I was like 16 years old, and then becoming a decent football player, to be recognized on that stage at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in front of everybody, for everybody to acknowledge the work that I've done for the NFL, really was a really special moment, and I'm really proud of it.
You mentioned you're from Nigeria. Obviously, NFL Africa has been a big thing for you as well, and I believe the expansion went to Nigeria recently. Talk a little bit about maybe how close to home that felt for you, and where do you sort of see NFL Africa continue to sort of expand here?
Yeah, well, I think it's just about providing opportunity. I think a lot of times, a lot of African people, we want to go back to Africa. Not only African, but people want to do things for Africa. But how about we give them the opportunity to help themselves? They have a tremendous amount of talent there. We know that there's an insatiable need for athletes and football players here. So why not connect the two? Why not give them those opportunities? So that's what NFL Africa is about. We're going to continue to do that throughout the continent. And hopefully with flag football, we'll be able to bring an Olympic team from Africa that might win the whole thing.
Talk about just the pipeline that you guys have been able to create. I mean, F.A. Obata and a bunch of other guys are being, into the NFL now because of this program. Talk about how this is now this great pipeline that we're finding new and great players now.
Yeah. So right now we have 6 or 7 players, I think, that came from the NFL Africa program that are on NFL rosters right now. Talking about people who never played the game before, people who are living in, unique, I would say, situations, and now they're on NFL teams, on billion-dollar franchises, making money, changing their families' lives. Not only that, we have players who are in college now. We have players who are in the NFL Academy now. So you're talking about a complete transformation of people's outlook on life, the things that they're going to be able to do. So we're really, really happy about that, and we're going to continue to do that in the future.
You have a unique way, though, of finding a lot of this talent, especially on social media.
Yeah.
You've been asking a lot of guys, tag me, send me your clips, all of that. How has that been going, and how has been finding all of these new people because of social media?
Well, hit and miss. I'm going to be honest.
Okay.
When you put that type of opportunity out there for people, the type of information that people send to you, the videos that they send, you're like, you really think you. But yeah, I think every once in a while you see that diamond in the rough, and every once in a while you see the guy that flashes the potential that you need. But I don't blame anybody for dreaming. I think it's a good thing. Send me all that information. I will take the time to look through all of it, and then whoever we feel like needs the opportunity, we'll definitely be there to give it to them.
We'll get you out of here on this. You're a legend in New York with the Giants. A lot of questions about what the Giants are going to do with that top 3 pick. I'm from Boulder, Colorado.
Yep.
2 guys might be on that list. Could it be Travis Hunter? Could it be Shedeur Sanders? What do you think the G-men need to do here?
Have to find a way to get a quarterback. I think when you look at what they have there, they have the defensive line. You look at the way we won Super Bowls. Defensive line play, good quarterback. They have the defensive line there already. They have some good pieces on the offensive line. You have to secure the quarterback. In free agent, is there a quarterback that's going to be able to step in there and do what's necessary? I don't know. Can they draft a guy? That's what we're hoping for, that can lead them into the future. I'm hoping that they get the guy this year.
Yeah, they definitely need one. Osi, great to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations on all the incredible success that you're having here and abroad. And we got a lot more interviews coming your way, more players, executives, all the insiders coming your way right here at Radio Row with Front Office Sports.